To the Way In, a companion meditation series for anyone working through the 12-week The Artist Way program. I'm finally starting this thing again in 2026, and I am super committed to completing the full 12 weeks for the first time ever. Each of the meditations in the series will be a way to reflect and look within and just see how we are feeling as we work through the Artist Way together. My name is Kristina Lopez. I'm a meditation teacher in New York City, and I'm so glad you're trying this out with me. If you're someone who's never really meditated before, here are some quick tips to get you started in a practice. Number one is you're going to want to have a space that makes it easier for you to show up for yourself. Here I am in my meditation corner. I've got my cushion, I've got my sound bowl, I've got my books. A lot of this is all about creating a ritual. When we create rituals in the everyday, it's easier for us to develop whatever it is we're trying to have more discipline for. Where would be easiest for you to show up for yourself and keep up with a meditation practice? And there's little things that you can do to make it more easeful for yourself. Do you want some incense? Do you want silence? Do you want sound? Maybe something like a little candle can help you have a point for your gaze to rest on if you don't like closing your eyes when you're meditating, for instance. These are all things that you'll figure out as you continue with your meditation practice. And be sure to drop any meditation questions in the comments, and I'll be sure to share more tips as we go along in this practice together. So let's go ahead and get started with week 1 of the Way In, which is all about beginning again. Take a moment to get settled, consciously choosing your meditation posture. Maybe placing your palms facing upward if your mind is feeling a little dull and you want to collect energy. Or you could place your palms facing downward if your mind is already so busy and you need to relax a little. Let your body land wherever it is and begin to soften your gaze gently. Let's start with a simple breath. Nothing dramatic, nothing forceful. Just noticing what it's like to breathe in this moment. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Repeating this again. Big inhale. Big exhale. Not trying to arrive anywhere specific. You're fine where you are right now in this moment. This week in the Artist Way, there's a lot about starting, restarting, starting fresh. It's all about beginning again. And for many people, beginning doesn't always feel hopeful. Sometimes it can be filled with doubt or with these unfinished things we have piling behind us. So today I invite you to consider what it really means to start fresh and see if you could start just from wherever you actually are. Noticing how your body's showing up in this moment. Are there any points of tension that you may be holding on to? Oftentimes, this can show up in our jaw, our shoulders, our belly. And we don't have to release it. We can just notice. Often as creatives, when we think about creativity, all the effort it takes comes up. It could feel like we're always chasing, doing one little thing more, or putting in a little bit more effort than we have in the past. But today's practice is about noticing the quiet moments of our creativity. So for the next few breaths, let's try to turn the mind inward. What does your inner world feel like today? Noticing what's arising without creating a big story behind it. Whatever arises is okay. It's inevitable that distracting thoughts come up while we meditate. And meditation practice actually happens in those moments that we return to the object of our meditation, returning to the breath. So as any distracting thoughts arise, maybe about the work you want to do, the book you want to read, the artist date you want to take yourself on, just label those thoughts. It could be something like thinking about the future, thinking about the past, and reminding yourself what I'm doing right now in this moment is focusing on my breath. You don't need to follow these thoughts. Beginning to shift your full awareness to your breath itself. Maybe following a full cycle, beginning with your next inhale. Visualizing your breath moving through you, giving you energy before it releases in your next exhale. Noticing the sensation of your breath, maybe the sound as you inhale and exhale. Maybe the temperature is what you notice, the shift from the air around you becoming part of you with each breath. Maybe noticing the movement of breath. Our bodies actually move a lot in order to try cultivating stillness. And we'll use our breath to remind us of affirmations we can use as part of this journey in creative recovery that the Artist's Way offers. Inhaling and repeating to yourself, I'm allowed to begin where I am. Exhaling and releasing whatever it is that might be holding you back. Notice how your body feels now compared to when we started. What subtle shifts came up during meditation practice today? Recognizing that there's no big promise you need to make to yourself today. There's no commitment needed beyond this moment. But this one small act of showing up for ourselves will amplify, and it will bloom into something else inevitably. As we begin to ease out of this practice, Bring your attention back to the room you're in, noticing the sounds around you. Feeling your rootedness with the earth beneath you. And taking one last big breath, breathing in, exhaling and maybe letting out a sigh. And recognizing that this step was enough for today. When you're ready, slowly bringing movement back to your body and opening your eyes, maybe twisting your torso just a little bit. Thanks for meditating with me today. I'll see you back here next week for week 2 of the Way In, our contemplative practice to guide us as we move through the 12-week Artist Way program together. Feel free to repeat this meditation as needed throughout your week, or simply spend some time alone in silence with your breath. As we continue on with this practice, we'll work with our breath in different ways. And in the meantime, drop any meditation questions you have in the comments and I'll try my best to address them. Ciao.